Hi guys, this is finally day 7 of the Younique palette. I didn't come on yesterday, so today is day 7. So I was looking this morning and I tried out different looks. I wanted to do some kind of grand finale. And then I suddenly had an idea. As I've talked to you throughout the week, I will have talked to you about the fact that I have hooded eyes. Now, to tell you what a hooded eye is, if I look straight in front of you right now, you can see that actually this one's more hooded than that, and that's often the case. So it's when the upper part of your eye kind of hangs over your lid, and it can hang over to such an extent that it almost hides it completely, and it does it with that. Now the problem with that is that when you sometimes go and put eyeliner on and you do a flick like that, you can raise your eyes and put it on and do it in a perfect flick, and then as soon as you actually relax your eyes, it basically your eyeliner's like that. So it can cause problems. And anyway, this inspired me to do today's look because the rule in makeup is that when you want to bring something out and draw attention to it, you use very light colours. And when you want to hide something, obviously you use very dark colours. And after my experience last Saturday of going, whoa, with that silver, I realised that I could use that to my advantage to give the impression that I don't have hooded eyes. I'm going to do as best a job as I can. I've seen other people do it on YouTube that can do it far better than me, but stick with me. So I'm going to be using 3 shades today. I'm going to be using Brilliant, which is this shade here, and do excuse the telly in the background. That's my son watching telly.
I'm watching over the hedge.
He's watching over the hedge. And then we're going to be using Victorious, because I don't think I've used that a lot this week. I've tended to go more for these warmer shades in between. And then I'm going to use Fearless. And I'm going to use it quite fearlessly as well. So I will explain. And then I will finish off my look and post again to Facebook, because I don't think that many people other than my Facebook friends are watching, so it doesn't really matter if I don't finish off my mascara and everything on here. So I'm going to get to work now. The first thing I'm going to do, I've primed my lids. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I used my colour corrector yet today, and I'm going to use this sort of stubby one because I want to get quite a lot of this silver on actually. But all I'm going to do now, what I'm aiming to do now is, as you see, when I look straight on, you can hardly see my lids. So where that crease ends, you can hardly see it. So what I'm going to do is create the illusion that they're bigger than they are by putting the silver on there and just there. If I go anywhere near here, I'm actually going to highlight bits that I don't want to highlight. I'm going to highlight the sagging bits. So I'm just going to put it on the lids. And you will see what I mean. In fact, I'll just do it to 1 to start with. Let me do it to 1 and you'll see what I mean. So I'm taking some of the Brilliant shade and I'm going to now put it on the very lower bit of my lid. I want to be careful that I don't go past that little crease in my eye, because if I do, I'm going to highlight what I really don't want to highlight. Now, can you see I've actually created a bit more of an impression that I've got a lid that you can see more than I had before. It's a very simple way. So I'm just going to do the other side as well. As you can see, this one isn't as bad, but you will see when I do this that it will look even bigger, my lid, than it was. And you're just creating a kind of optical illusion. All right, and I think where a lot of people go wrong, and I do myself sometimes, because I do like shimmery shades, is I put them where the hood is, and that actually is drawing attention to the bit you want to draw attention away. So you can see, and I now look like I have eyelids, which is great. And so that this is a really good colour for doing that, because it is very, very pigmented and very bright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up so that I get very dark, very, very dark in the bit that sags down and up here. But if I go in straight away, it's going to look too severe. So you often hear people talking about transition shades. So with a fluffy brush, I'm actually going to use this fluffy one because it's got a bit of an angle to it. I'm going to use Victorious, and I'm going to go into the crease. But when I say into the crease, I'm actually going to go in here, find where my brow bone is, and go slightly above that. And the reason for that is that when I then look straight on at you, you will see that, and it will create the illusion that that's where my crease is and the rest of it is lid. So it's all fun and games and optical illusions today. So I'm just going to go in with my fluffy, and this will give me a bit of a transition colour. Don't worry, it's going to look very very stark at the moment, but as I say, we can always blend later on, and I want this to be getting dark anyway, and it will all turn out well in the end, hopefully. All right, and I'm also putting some, if you see, I'm dabbing it in the corner here because that is where the hood is hanging. And you know what, I'd rather do one eye and explain this and then come back and show you guys a photo of both eyes done later, because I'm not, as I said, there are people on YouTube that can do this far better than me, but it just creates that illusion. Okay, so this now is my kind of transition shade. It's all going to be blended soon, but again, can you see now it's giving, I'm trying to take the light away, and then what I'm going to do is with a smaller brush, again dabbing, I'm going to clean this brush off that I had my silver on, because I actually want this one. I've got a little baby wipe here I can do that with. Right, I'm going to clean this brush off, and I'm now going to go in with this Fearless, right, which I am fearlessly going to put on. I'm going to target it now. That was more of a transition, but I'm going to target this right in to the corner here where the hood is hanging down, right, to give the impression that it's not there, right? And as I build up, you'll see it does actually create this impression that there is no, that I've got lids. And it's all done with makeup, no surgery involved. And what the transition shade does is it just gives a beautiful eyeline, a beautiful sort of border to that dark colour, right? And I can hear my mum, she always used to say, you're always saying right, right, right. And then again, I'm going to take it up, and later on I'm going to get a wipe and do that to give me. I was actually going to put some tape on, but I forgot medical tape to do it that way today. But never mind. And as you see, I really want this dark now. I want it nice and dark because I want to draw the eye away from the hood. Sorry, you all got to see up my nose then for ages. I forgot I'm supposed to be looking at the camera. Now, can you see? Okay, I've done the lid of that one, but can you see how it looks? It gives you the impression that I've got more lid than I had to start with. I hope you can. So that was my little trick. I'm going to finish off and I'm going to post the final picture of Facebook. Thank you, Katherine. I'd like to thank Katherine for lending me this gorgeous palette. I've had so much fun with it. You're a great sport. I will be returning it safely to you in the post. I've got my nice jiffy bag, and I've had some great fun. And if you want any details about this palette and other palettes in the range, and they do have some neutral colours as well, if these colours you feel a bit afraid of, then have a look at the collection, because they've got some lovely other palettes in the range, and I've posted the link below. Okay, bye guys, see you soon.